Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Just Say to Discord.
Jables is proven a liar.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It warmed up. Okay. So it's not so bad. For one. For two, I am trying to time it out so that next time I do laundry, so I don't have to take all my clothes back upstairs, I can just leave everything downstairs because that's where the washer and dryer are. Okay. Not a liar.
You're lazy.
It's just the inconvenience of it being cold. That's
You're the one who said
situation.
that last week was going to be the last week that we saw you in the garage. So...
Yeah. And then it warmed up. So the inconvenience of it being cold proved to not be an issue anymore. Okay.
It's from Deep Purple, everybody. The Machine Head album.
You know what I just realized? I should have had this playing in the Steam Machine episode background.
What?
Half-Life Alyx.
Oh. Oh, I've been seeing some people talk about like things that Steam can do to really make the Steam Machine take off, the Gabe Cube, as people have been calling it. It's if after they release the console computer thing, they also announced that they're doing Half-Life 3.
You know, there are leaks saying that Half-Life 3 is in production.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm in the same boat. I've heard so many Half-Life 3 leaks that at this point, I'll believe it when it's official. And even then, I'll wait till it actually comes out to believe it.
Yeah. I've been hearing about Half-Life 3 leaks for, I don't know, 15, 20 years, it feels like.
Yeah, but to be fair, though, these do have a little more credibility given that there is some stuff popping out involving the Gabe Cube.
Yeah.
But also, it's kind of... So, Linus Tech Tips, I mean, he went through, he set up a rough equivalent Gabe Cube with off-the-shelf hardware and came up with pricing of around, I think he said like $650, $700, something like that. Or like between $600 and $700.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
But there's another YouTuber that saw that video and was like, huh. Well, let's take off our cynicism and copium glasses and just do the same thing he did, but with the Steam frame. And he's thinking that's going to come in about $100 for the base model, about $100 less than the Gabe Cube.
Yeah, and like, who knows what kind of deals they struck with the companies that they worked with to do the semi-custom parts and stuff. You know, I think it's gonna sell really well considering for like what it is.
Oh yeah, the channel is Fix My Oculus. I'll send you guys a link. It's about a 15-minute so I'll just do it this way. It's about a 15-minute video. So I'm not expecting you guys to watch it now. It's going in topics, but like, let's see if I can get to the point.
Yeah,
model maybe.
Regardless, I
Bluetooth.
think it would just be a good like take the gaming aspect out of it, I think it would just be like a good PC for a good pre-built PC for like college kids and stuff
Yeah.
because of its size.
Well, it's supposed to be entry level as fuck.
Yeah. And Nick, yeah, you see a gun? That's a pellet gun. It's not even like a gun. I have killed a porcupine with it though. Trying to get at a cat. Trying to get at the barn
Those
keeper.
porcupines are actually scary little critters.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to get into the barn where the kitty's at. Yeah.
And therefore he had to die.
Yeah. It's a pretty good pellet gun. I've shot a can at like 50 yards with it.
Thing is, though, is that like, if you're Valve at this point, like, and you're actually seriously working on Half-Life 3, it's like, this has got to be the end of the storyline.
Yeah. I've also heard rumors of a new Half-Life.
Not only that, it's like, this is also, it's like, this is the point where like the two major like storylines in Valve's universe finally cross over.
Half-Life 3, they
for,
give
you
you
know,
a
like,
portal gun. It's
anyone
actually
who
Portal
does it.
3.
No, like, I would actually be disappointed if you do not get a portal gun in Half-Life
Yeah.
3, because one of the major plot points of like the last time we left off with Half-Life 2, one of the big major plot points, it's probably going to be the secret to breaking open everything and like getting humanity's win, is that the people in Half-Life, like our little group of people, that one doctor, I can't remember her name, but she finds the Borealis.
Mm. I haven't played any of the Half-Life games.
Which is
so,
an icebreaker ship. Yeah. Well, no, the Borealis is mentioned in Portal 2.
Mm.
It was an icebreaker ship that was purchased by Aperture Science, and they were using it in an experiment when the ship disappeared. And it's believed it teleported out of the facility.
Mm.
And
the moon
in
portal
Half-Life
got rid of the
2,
icebreaker ship.
Chapter 2, they find the Borealis deep inside the ice in like the Arctic somewhere.
Yeah.
So there's something on that ship that's probably going to be the key to defeating the Combine.
Yeah. I hate to spoil it for anybody that hasn't played Portal 2, but
But it's
shooting
been
the portal
fucking
on
a
the
decade.
moon.
Deal with it.
Yeah, shooting the portal on the moon in the final boss battle is so cool. There's also a lot of implications with how much range the portal gun has. With that, it's
Because like one of the big things like in Half-Life, like with the Combine, is that the Combine, for like all their advanced technology and like their dark matter manipulation and all that shit, allowing them to go into other universes, they haven't figured out localized teleportation.
Yeah, welcome back, Vampire. Yeah. Portal guns in Half-Life 3.
So they still have to move troops with like helicopters and like big trucks and like shit like that.
So, yeah, back to what I was saying before. Like, the reason why there's a lot of people speculating that if they do drop Half-Life 3 with the Gabe Cube, that's what's going to really drive sales, especially since like console exclusives are less and less of a thing nowadays. I mean, Sony kind of has theirs. Xbox has given up.
Maybe
Nintendo's
not
just
given
gonna
up so
Nintendo.
much as maybe they should just give up.
They've given up, dude.
They should
We all
they
know
should
it.
just give up on their own standalone thing and just start working with Valve to create more Valve machines, more Steam machines.
Yeah. Do you think Valve would have called it the Gabe Cube if they had thought of it, or would they be worried about copyright lawsuits from Nintendo?
I
The
think
fact that it's a
copyright
cube, I think, is
lawsuits-
already. I think they're already at risk of Nintendo suing them, just because it's a cube that plays
Because
games.
Nintendo is petty and litigious as fuck.
Yeah, but they're getting their asses handed to them in those Pal World lawsuits.
Yep. Yeah, and they've been getting
Which
certain
I will
patents
continue
rejected.
to state what I stated previously. Hey, Nintendo, maybe focus on making your Pokemon games not shit. And then maybe
Yeah.
you wouldn't be concerned about Pal World competing with you.
Can we get some non-PNG windows on the buildings in the fucking Pokemon games? That'd be cool. The biggest problem with Nintendo is that if you take Pokemon out of it, they make a lot of really good games. They're really fun.
If you
That's-
take their
It's the most
their
annoying. It's the most annoying thing about Nintendo is that they suck. They're anti-consumer as fuck. They will sue anybody for the slightest glance wrong in their
possible
direction.
infringement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
like, Nintendo is the only company where exclusives still matter.
yeah. Yeah. Remember
Because
a while back
Mario
when Nintendo.
games, fucking Zelda games, they tend to be really good.
Yeah, there was a while back. There was this guy that stumbled across an old Nintendo magazine that was only released in Japan. There weren't a lot of copies of it, and so he uploaded it to the internet just as like a preservation thing. Nintendo just sued him, forced him to take it down, and be like, nobody's allowed to see that unless you own one in Japan. Okay, dude. Yeah, his whole thing was like, hey, I just found this cool thing that nobody's seen before. I wanted to share it. I'm like, no, that's ours. Go fuck yourself.
Like, okay, Streisand.
Yeah. And then,
But yeah, it's like, what other company at this point, like, has exclusives that are worth a shit?
I hear the
Yeah,
Spider-Man
pretty much
games
it's
on the
just
PlayStation
Nintendo.
are fun. Sony still has some.
I was gonna say, like, outside of God of War, what ones does Sony have?
Spider-Man. I hear those are really fun.
No.
What? They're not fun?
It's
or...
basically God of War or bust. No, everybody really liked the first
Not
Spider-Man
anymore,
game.
Vampire, but it was when
And
it
then
came
the
out.
second game came out, and a lot of the review outlets liked the second Spider-Man game. But it was not received nearly as well as the first one. It was way more buggy, way more unfinished and unpolished.
All right, Al, hold on. Let me embrace the past Gamergate mentality. People didn't like it because Miles Morales is black.
No, that didn't really have anything to do with it.
I know, but that's
It's what
Remember
they're
how
gonna say.
Gamergate stuff always gets spun? Oh, Netflix bought
No,
Warner
people
Brothers.
were annoyed that
That's something that
basically the
happened this week.
storyline of the game is that the storyline of that game is basically building up Miles as being better than Peter Parker, and basically that he's going to replace Peter Parker going forward. And it's just like, no, fuck you.
They're separate characters.
Yeah.
And they give
They
Miles
don't
Morales,
have to
like,
be
way too
better
many
or
powers,
worse.
in my opinion. Yeah. Miles Morales has too many powers, in my opinion. Invisibility and
Like Peter
control over
Parker in
electricity.
the second game pretty much like says to Miles at one point, it's like, you're a better Spider-Man than I ever was. It's like, fuck you. Fuck off. If you
Yeah.
can't get a character to stand on their own merits, then that just means that you're bad at writing.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I didn't post an article or put it in topics or anything because I forgot I wanted to talk about this, but Netflix bought Warner Brothers this week.
Yep.
Not everything's finalized yet, but you know, there's like FCC regulations that has to get voted on to make sure that there's no monopoly sort of shit. Yeah. And like I don't like it. I think Netflix really mishandles a lot of their original properties.
Absolutely, they do.
Like a lot of shows that they make some really good shows, don't promote it, and then never give it a chance to gain a following, and then just trash it.
No, Bubba. Bubba.
Yeah, they seem
Come
to
here.
have like a mentality, if you're not on Netflix all the time watching everything they put out, then why would we even keep this good story going?
Yeah,
It
it's
didn't get enough views. Yeah. Yeah, Vampire. I don't know if the X button is broken on your keyboard. That's the weirdest way I've ever seen Netflix spelled. Yeah, they promote trash shows because the trash shows that they have like mainstream appeal, and it's just, you know, garbage television, which is fine. I like a little trash television from time to time. Yeah. But I don't know, when you have something good and it doesn't instantly grab people and you just abandon it. Supernatural wouldn't have gone to 15 seasons if they did that. And is that a great show? No. But it's pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's just television, quote unquote, is just not what it used to be.
I think it is, but I think companies are moving on too fast from projects. It's sort of like there's plenty of
it's
shows that have
absolutely
been
not what it used to be.
There's been plenty of shows in the past that have been fucked over by the companies that made them. Like Firefly is a great example, where they aired everything out of order.
Yeah.
And shit.
But I'm talking more about the fact that, like, it's like shows now are seasons that have less episodes that are released less frequently.
Yeah.
It's taken 10 years 10 years for 5 seasons of Stranger Things.
Yeah, you know why
if
that
the
is.
quality was better, it'd be one thing.
Yeah. The creators of Stranger Things, they were like, I just like a longer release time in between seasons instead of like traditional TV. And everybody on the internet responded to him with like, you want to make movies, so make movies. Stop making shows. Make movies. No. There are certain
Yeah, like how those two dumb
they're-
fucks, Dan and Dave, that were the showrunners for Game of Thrones, basically rushed the final season of Game of Thrones, just shit it out and put it out the door because they thought they were going to be making Star Wars movies. That never fucking happened, though. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. There's yeah, like, but there are some shows that you can do that with, like True Detective, because True Detective is a series that follows a different set of characters each season. So I mean, you can have a little bit more time in between seasons with that. Or American Horror Story is another show that does that. I don't mind them having a bit more time in between seasons for those because each season is its own storyline. But Stranger Things is a continuation, and I hate to be like give me content sort of shit, but I mean, come on. You're doing a full story here, guys. Let's keep it rolling. Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but I don't think that we're going to see anything like, what we used to have. We're definitely not going to get a Star Trek series the way we used to.
I liked the new one. It was really weird. Took some getting used to. I didn't like that it was shot like a movie instead of being shot like a TV show. I had to get used to it, but I liked it overall. It was very Star Trek in the way people behaved.
Did you see that meme picture of like all of the like old Star Trek like captains like gathered around while they're getting ready to jettison all of the Kurtzman era main characters out the fucking airlock?
Yeah.
That was funny.
I'm happy to have shared it with you.
Is that what that was? Hold on.
It was.
I never actually pulled it up.
Yeah, it was in a live show prep.
Okay, but one of these isn't even a captain.
Well, yeah, but like they're each like the principal character for their show.
Yeah. I don't know. I understand STD being in there. I had a lot of fun with
The only thing that I say there's that they also need to have the Captain Kirk from the Abrams movies in there as well, because fuck those movies.
Those movies are fine for what they are.
They're supposed to be fun.
They're not Star Trek movies.
Yeah, that's fair. That's okay. They're fun. I still have fun with them.
The first one, sure. The second one is less so, and the third one, I didn't even bother watching.
You didn't miss much.
I'm sure. I
Yeah.
heard they use the bundle of sticks analogy.
Nice. But yeah, Lower Decks is so obviously a love letter to Star Trek that it is a cartoon comedy show, but it's also very much a love letter to Star Trek because of that. And it started as a fan made thing, so I have a lot of love for Lower Decks. And then the Brave New Worlds, I don't know, give it a shot.
STD was a joke
It's
from the
called
start.
Strange New World.
Yeah, that's fine. We're okay with STD being.
Yeah,
menacing now.
it was a joke from the start. If anyone disagrees with that, that's on you. Lower Decks, I don't know. I've seen some of it, and it feels like a Family Guy rendition of Star Trek. But I mean, I Family Guy didn't used to be bad, so you know it could be fine. I don't necessarily think I'd consider it Star Trek, but
Yeah, I'd say. I don't know. I say give it a shot.
and then
Just
Strange
have it
New
like a little
Worlds.
dumb cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Strange New Worlds. Strange New Worlds. From what I understand, it started out fine. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but it started out fine, and then I started seeing, oh yeah, they released a musical episode, and then a
There's a reason.
Muppets episode, and
Yeah.
it became Star Trek: The Gimmick Show.
I think your perception's wrong with that because those are like far and few in between, and TNG did stuff like that. They didn't have the production to do like a
TNG
Muppet
didn't
show.
become kind of known for it. Like, most of what I hear people talking about
don't-
when it comes to Strange New Worlds is, oh yeah, these episodes where they did a special thing. Whereas,
Yeah. It's
There's also been a lot of talk among fans about the portrayal of Spock in the show.
yeah, there's also that. I forgot to mention that.
well, this was. I mean, it's pre-original series, obviously.
Obviously.
Well, yeah, because it's Captain Pike.
Yeah, you're talking about 2 episodes out of 30 of them. It's okay to have a little goofball episode. Like, TNG did Sherlock Holmes episodes all the fucking time with Data. I feel like there's like 15 of those.
But it wasn't just like, hey, this is Sherlock Holmes. It was, hey, there's something going wrong with the holodeck. Which, let's be honest, given how many times they featured the holodeck in the show and how many times it went wrong, why would you have something so unreliable like that on a warship?
Well,
now,
okay.
don't get me wrong. I know what people are going to say. It's not a warship. And don't get me wrong. I know it's a show. It's just kind of a funny thing to think about.
Yeah. No, but like you bring up the musical.
You're the one who got stuck back
reason
there.
For that. There's a reason for that musical episode. That's a problem they're actively trying to fix.
I mean, like I would say, like
they're not
all vessels. Not all vessels in Starfleet are dedicated to fighting, but anyone, and it annoys the piss out of me, but like anyone that tries to pretend that Starfleet in Star Trek is not a military organization is full of shit.
Yeah, they actually have a few good episodes about that in Strange New Worlds. There's like a there's somebody on board that's creating sort of like a little documentary thing that's like really bringing up the whole aspect of it being very military like. Yeah, and I thought that was
Like,
really well
yeah,
done
at a
because it brought up a
minimum,
lot of
it's
those questions.
paramilitary.
Yeah, but it's like they address all of those questions, and it's like, hey,
Just like
we
it pisses me off anybody
we need these weapon capabilities because not everybody's nice, but we're not like going out taking over shit.
Yeah,
We're responding to people attacking us, and they do all of that in the show. Like, hey, listen, like,
well, yeah, like if you think about it, with like, especially like with how advanced they tend to be compared to a lot of their rivals, and how quickly Starfleet like figures out how to overcome things or adapt to things. Starfleet very much has like the old Teddy Roosevelt doctrine of speak softly and carry a big stick.
Yeah. Well, it's even like scientific expeditions.
A Galaxy-class starship is a big fucking stick.
Scientific expeditions into the rainforest, they still carry guns. It's not...
I think technically speaking,
yeah, every away team has
ships,
fucking phasers.
I think technically speaking, the only ships that are not supposed to have weapons are the medical ships. Because it presents a weird, like, weapons beyond just deflecting or repelling asteroids or some shit like that.
Yeah, like little phasers.
Or like pirates.
Yeah. But also with that same thought, why is it that Starfleet has its medical ships going unescorted to so many places?
Fair point. Well, there are some medical ships that are like documenting historical medicine on different planets and stuff. And they're all still technically doctors, but they're also studying all the ancient or classic medicines on other planets.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they have to always be escorted, but like, why is it so often the only reason they've got a friggin' medical ship on screen is because something happened?
Yeah.
Because they were attacked or something like that.
Yeah, sure, it happens, dude.
Yeah. It's just like, shouldn't these ships be being... Okay, they're flying to this location where it's a known hostile area. Why the fuck aren't they being escorted?
So, Lower Decks, if you just want a fun little cartoon, that's Trek-esque and sort of a love letter to Trek.
Yeah, I have less of an issue with Lower Decks.
Strange New Worlds, once you adjust to the, like, I don't think they picked the right guy to play Kirk at all in that show, but once you adjust and sort of get used to them doing it, I think the guy that plays Spock actually does decent. Yeah. I think the guy that plays Spock does pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard people complaining about that. I'm not saying I have a specific thought on it. I'm just saying I've heard people complaining about it.
Yeah. I'm very much I'm gonna watch it myself. That's the reason why I sat through Velma. That was rough.
You also don't have a wife or kid, so you have the time to be able to make those changes or time commitments.
Yeah. Well, when it came to Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds,
Yeah,
it's because my parents were watching them, so they were like, "Hey, get caught up with us." So here we go. I'm down to rewatch it, and so like, I probably wouldn't
yeah,
have
like
gotten around to
the
watching
whole
those on
thing
my own.
about Velma was just like, the whole thing with Velma is just like, hey guys, it's like, yeah, that Scooby Doo show, that was really lame and fucking cringe, wasn't it? You know what would be better? A show about lesbians and constant vagina humor.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people's reactions were, I think people overreacted to Velma. It's like, yeah, it's just a regular old shitty show. It's not the worst thing in the world. Everybody, chill the fuck out. It's just a shit show. It's-
And we won't be seeing any more of it.
yeah,
Hooray!
and I'm a big Scooby Doo fan, and I didn't think they shat on Scooby Doo at all. They sort of, a lot of that show
Kind of
is
hard
just,
to when Scooby himself isn't in the fucking show.
yeah. Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's bad, but it's not nearly as bad as everybody was freaking out about when it was coming out.
I mean, I won't argue with you on that. I'm not saying you're right or wrong, I'm just not going to argue with you on it.
It's not fun to watch.
I'm just not interested. It's kind of just that simple.
And that's fine. Don't be interested. I'm interested because everybody was freaking out about it, and then I watched it. I'm like, I mean, it's not a good show, but it's not like needles are injecting feminism in my veins from the fucking TV, you know.
They are trying to implement that sort of thing here in California.
Oh, do it with heroin, then The Wire might make more sense.
By the way, I keep checking behind me for anyone watching. I keep checking behind me because my son is playing around behind the green screen.
Yeah, I hear him a little bit.
That's fucked up.
What?
What?
Eru posted something. Rimshee.
Yeah, we
What?
can't share that.
Where? Where?
Here, I'll just send it to you.
Nice. Anyhow, well, I'm having this issue right now where my parents are claiming all sorts of things are AI that aren't, and then getting fooled by stuff that is AI. We've
Yeah.
reached that point in the timeline.
Me and Jables had a little. We had a little discussion about this before the show.
Yeah. Yeah, we were rewatching season 1 of Fallout because, you know, second season's coming out. I don't care what you guys say about it because you haven't watched it. So, anyways, I'm having fun with it. And like they use a lot of music.
Yeah, but
from the
are you a
games and
fan
stuff.
of the
My parents-
Fallout games?
Yeah, and so are my parents.
We're not doing this again.
Uh,
I already had
my
another fucking
stance-
argument with him about it that I didn't want to have the other night. I don't want to talk about the fucking Fallout show anymore.
anyways, I'm just setting the scene
abortion?
for how this came up. Watch a show and then talk to me.
Yeah, I'd
So-
rather spend my time wisely.
Okay, then I don't want to hear anything about the show.
You don't have to hear it.
Anyway.
You just don't have to listen.
I don't fucking talk to you about the show. You always bring it up to me. You're always the one that starts the conversation. Fuck off with this false narrative.
I'm trying to get to the fucking. We're talking about the music.
No, I'm not going to let you mischaracterize what happened either.
Okay.
You're always the one that brings up this fucking conversation. Always.
Okay.
I try not to talk about it. I don't even think about it.
Cool. We're talking about
So
the
you
music.
can just stop with the don't talk to me unless you've watched it. It's like, good, I don't want to talk to you about it. Ever. Again.
Cool. Moving on. Talking about the music. And my parents were like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they used AI to make the music. And like, these are all original songs, ink spots, all that. There's even an album like, it's folk songs for the 21st century. And like, all the music, the games that use the music predate AI and stuff like that. And yeah, my parents are attributing AI to creating it, and it just irritated the fuck out of me.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, the original game came out in like 97, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then I see them getting fooled.
Fallout 4 is like,
Like-
what, 10 years old now? At least?
Something like that. Yeah, and then I see them get fooled by stuff on Facebook that's AI. But they're... when I brought up that, it's like, no, this can't be AI. Because AI wasn't there. They're like, well, like, computers made it or something. It's like, also, no. But don't just start calling everything AI that a computer made. And there are like musicians out there like Richard Cheese or Puddle's Pity Party that do like older crooner classic renditions of songs. That's different. That's not AI. Those are actual musicians that are just doing songs in different styles.
Yeah, like the fact that like the ink spots like predate even the games by quite a bit.
Now,
They're active in the 30s and 40s.
yeah, that's kind of how it started, because the Ink Spots does sound like a more modern band name. I do have to say that. I will agree with my mom on that. It started with the Ink Spots. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure the Ink Spots are pretty old, and I looked it up, and I was like, oh yeah, they were in the 30s and 40s. And then we started talking about the song Crawl Out Through the Fallout, and they're like, that was definitely made for the games. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's not. And I just had to look it up to double check. I'm like, oh, okay, that was from the 60s.
No, they
So,
don't use
folk songs.
They don't use music specifically for the games, which is they never made it that way. It's always been old stuff that's real.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I wasn't 100% sure. So that's why I was like looking it up. I was like, I'm pretty sure they used already existing songs from like the 30s to the 60s. But Oh, I lost my train of thought. Yeah. Yeah, nothing that was made specifically for the games.
Yeah.
To be fair, though,
I mean,
Fallout Through the Fallout does sound like something that would be made specifically for the games.
Yeah, it's really fitting.
It's a little too perfect.
Hmm. Yeah, but it's off of an album called Folk Songs for the 21st Century, so I get it.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's faked, but I could
An album
totally
that came
see
out of the
that
60s.
mistake. I can totally see that being a mistake people made. Like, when I first started playing, I would have guessed that if I didn't already know the Fallout penchant for using actual songs.
Yeah. Oh no, I saw his name. I'm trying to think of, there was a comedic songwriter. Tom Lehrer. Yeah, in like 1967, he did "So Long, Mom," a song for World War III. He did several songs about like nuclear bombs being dropped and stuff. But he was a musical comedian back in the 60s.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, like, AI has become a lot more pervasive in like online spaces, especially places like X and Facebook and TikTok. YouTube is riddled with fucking videos with AI generated scripts read by AI voices.
Yeah, I assume just about everything's AI that's currently being made, but it's attributing anything that's like I hear people saying like the YouTube algorithm is AI, and yeah, there's AI aspects for some of their stuff, like a lot of their copyright detection and stuff, but it's a lot of that's still newer, and there a lot of people just calling things AI that are just regular computer algorithms and like detection software.
Also, to be fair, there's so much stuff that is called AI that is completely separate that AI has just the best way I've seen it explained is think of AI like the term vehicle. I'm gonna take my vehicle to from LA to New York. Okay, are you taking a motorcycle? Are you taking a car? Are you taking a boat? Are you taking a plane?
Yeah. Well, it's become the catch-all. It's become the catch-all phrase for computer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking a hovercraft, I'll have you know.
But that's kind of my point. It's the same idea. It's so broad that it basically has no real meaning anymore.
And yeah, like for example, like AI generated videos have been popping up a lot more. And like they use like the Will Smith eating pasta ones as like a measure. And it's gotten better. It's gotten noticeably better, but you can still tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like,
no matter
nah, that's not real.
no matter what, you cannot tell me that it's artificial intelligence. It's at best artificial machine learning. There's no intelligence to it. It's just a basic decision tree.
Yeah, but we are getting to a point where it's getting harder and harder to tell. A lot of times it'll take, well, maybe not a lot of times. Maybe I only think it's a lot of times because it's just when I notice I have to do it. Sometimes it takes me a second watch. You know, to like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Oh, that's off. Okay, AI.
But the amount of people who fucking fall for this shit, like, I saw a video the other day, obviously AI, but, oh, this woman saves a dog from an alligator. First off, the alligator apparently has the dog in its jaws, and it's not doing a death roll, so that's that's number one, the giveaway. Two, the woman runs over to it, hits it a couple of times, and it just lets go, and the dog runs off perfectly fine, because it wasn't being held that hard. And then the alligator goes, ah! And then backs into the water and sinks straight down, and the woman literally runs to right where its head was, in the water, and is standing in ankle-deep water.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a few things like that, like a car just suddenly rolling into like a pond or something, and people are just walking on water around it.
Yeah.
My cousin keeps getting fooled by AI. Not the one that you guys have talked to.
Mm-hmm.
Different cousin. So her and I have a thing. I was like, hey, you can send me stuff. I'll tell you if it's AI or not. I'll back you up. But yeah, she was falling for so many videos. Like the one where there's like 100 different versions of it, but where like a lightning strikes a tree and it just falls down and barely misses some people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Crab.
We've all
I
seen
assume
some pretty crazy, like actual lightning strike videos.
Yeah, and Crab. I kind of agree with you. I do find myself assuming everything's AI until I can't find anything wrong with it. Which I don't know if that's the safer route to go, but it's, I don't know. I think it's better than assuming that it's real.
As they're presented.
Yeah.
I just take things like as it's presented. It's just like, oh, this is a thing that someone says happened. Watch his video. Oh, well, that's not real.
Yeah. Like I saw one. It looked like a recording from like a courtroom about squatters and stuff, which could have totally been potentially real. But then I noticed something off with like one of the faces or like some of the behavior, or like the audio is off for one of the voices. I'm like, oh no, never mind. Okay. And then once I saw one thing, then I started seeing more and more things wrong with it. So yeah.
Yeah. Like right now on places like YouTube, it's still incredibly easy to spot AI shit, or at least hear AI shit, because it's like a lot of these people on YouTube are just really fucking lazy content mills that are just trying to get their clicks.
And I get it. More power to you guys. Get your bag, I guess. I fucking hate it. Because I'll catch my mom watching something that's AI, and I'm like, this is AI generated. And she's like, what? No. Okay, I'll stop. So I do respect my mom for that.
So like the ones that kill me the most are the ones that use clearly AI generated scripts and are using an AI voice.
Yep. And then
it's so
but
shit.
my mom's pretty good to like trust me on stuff. Like when I first moved back here, she was watching a clip from Tim Pool's show. And she doesn't watch Tim Pool regularly. It was just like, clip came up, she was watching it. I was like, Tim Pool got caught taking a bunch of money from Russia, right? She's like, oh, and then just immediately shut it off. Just, okay, cool. Yeah.
Well, creeping up on about a half an hour to go.
Yeah, I figured we were at a good transition point to go into one of the articles I posted, but then Rimshee walked away. So.
No!
Yep.
Rimshee! Come back! Maybe he saw the article and was just like, oh no, not them again.
Yeah, crab, the mispronunciation of a common word that is a thing, but that can't be your only tip off because there are plenty of words that people have only read. And I learned this because there was a big scandal in the community of creators that do videos about South Park, where there was they thought this one new creator was an AI generated creator.
My son needed me for reasons, so priority is priority.
Boo.
Yeah, like an example, and Rimshee knows what I'm talking about. I was watching this video by it's like something Fleet Yards or like whatever.
Wait, hold on.
It was like some YouTuber.
I wanna. There's this controversy, but it turns out it was just the guy that was paid to do the narration for that channel wasn't a fan of South Park. He was just doing voice work, so he didn't know how certain things were pronounced that are like South Park specific, and so that sort of made everybody freak out that it was AI voice, but it was just this guy that just didn't know. He's just hired to do voice work. So, anyways, you go on. Yeah.
But I'm actually I'm looking for what I posted because it completely fucking stun locked me. I could not believe what I had just heard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll be able to find it in a timely manner. That sucks. But yeah, like, I was watching this video by this guy, and he's like talking about like he was talking like Star Trek ships, like the classifications for like Star Trek ships. You're like, oh, you like cruisers and whatnot. And they brought up the classification of heavy cruiser, which in the original series and like the original series based movies, like the Constitution class, like the type that the Enterprise is a heavy cruiser. Constitution class is a heavy cruiser.
Or its time, at least.
And he brought up a real world example of the USS Indianapolis, which was a Portland-class heavy cruiser in the United States Navy. Very famous ship for all the wrong reasons. But he brought it up, and Rimshee can confirm, when he gets to that point, he misspells he mispronounces Indianapolis.
I forget how he pronounced it. But
Completely butchered.
Indianapolis?
And like it's
Indiana.
Yeah, exactly that. Like he said like something Polis.
No, he changed
Indiana?
a letter.
And I was unlocked. That's right. Like, and it was even worse because he had it spelled correctly on screen, like the graphic that came up had it spelled correctly, but he still completely fucked it up.
Yeah.
And it stun locked me so badly that I never finished the video. I could not believe that he had fucked it up that badly. You know, it's like, that is laziness. You couldn't even be bothered to fucking check.
Couldn't even be bothered to edit.
Yeah. All right.
It's like, that's where I lose respect for you as a creator. It's like, when you can't even do something that basic. Oh god, that was bad. Anyway, this is also probably going to be bad.
Yeah, I have a sneeze. Since we're talking about boomers getting fooled by AI, there's an article on news articles from here.
Yep.
Just has to do with boomers. I scrolled through this real quick, and I have some issues with some of them. That was the right one.
Or... Okay.
Yeah, that was the right one. Take it away, sir.
All right, coming to us from Veg Out, who already does not have a good track record with us, considering their opinions on what we ended up calling meals that every single bachelor should know how to make.
Yeah. Yeah.
This article says, you know you're a boomer when you can't throw away these 7 items no matter how hard you try.
Ooh, you're gonna get pissed off within the first 3.
So,
because I already scrolled through some of this.
Old photo albums that weigh more than a laptop. Okay, I'm already mad.
Yep.
Do you know
Photo
how
albums
much
are great.
I wish I still had I had physical pictures of like certain points in my life, especially with a certain individual?
Yeah. Like, my parents have lots of photo albums and stuff. I don't look through. I have a ton of pictures on my phone that I've taken. And I'm not much of like the taking picture type of person. I never look through my old pictures on my phone unless I'm looking for a funny
by the
meme.
way. I found that section. Here, let me go ahead and play it.
We start to have major drawbacks, and I'll explain that.
I have to bring up the stream.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not playing it on the stream. I'm just... you know what? Why don't I put it on the stream?
How do I watch it again? I don't remember.
No, you have to pull up the actual stream
Okay,
because
watch.
Ready?
Yeah, hold on, it's loading. It's loading because I can't just watch in Discord anymore. Thanks, Discord.
No, that's thanks to Rimshee. Rimshee doesn't do that.
Oh.
Well, I'm playing it for
Well,
the
then I can be
stream,
mad at
so...
Rimshee.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course I have a fucking ad. This is what happens when I don't open fucking Twitch for God knows how long.
Oh, open
There.
it on YouTube. You'll have better luck.
I've got it set up to be... I've started sharing my screen on Discord, so...
Okay.
Do it that way.
Okay. Get off my screen. All this shit is on my screen now.
Get a damp paper towel
I
and wipe it off.
Whenever I open up Twitch, I try to speed run like popping out the chat as fast as I can before I start seeing ads.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Alright.
And in World War II, you have ships like the USS Indianapolis
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. Yeah.
delivering components
How did
of
you
the atomic
do
bomb.
that?
Perfect mission for a ship of this size. I can envision.
Yeah, and he did misspell it on screen too. That's what triggered me. I remember now.
Yeah.
Not only did he not pronounce it correctly, but he completely misspelled it.
Hey, you gotta pump out that
That's
content.
fucking lazy.
It's the content.
That is
you gotta pump out the
fucking lazy.
content.
You are a lazy piece of shit. Indianapolis. Christ.
Milo Indianapolis.
Yeah, that made me real mad.
It's-
Yeah, you know how I know that made
This
you real
also makes
mad?
me mad.
You know how I know that made you real mad, sir? You posted that back in January.
It's been almost a year.
Yeah. It's been like
That's great.
10 months. The only reason I'm saying 10 months is because it was at the end of January. It was January 25th.
Nice.
And then it fucking tilted me. I never finished that video.
Alright.
Anyway, giant books filled with printed photos, handwritten captions, and crookedly placed snapshots are basically sacred.
Yeah.
They come from a time in life when taking a photo meant stopping life long enough to document something truly worth remembering.
No, there's candid shots. My parents' photo albums are full of candid shots. Well, they would
Yeah,
just
just-
whip
that
out a
you just
camera
take in the
and
moment.
just, yeah. They would just whip out a camera, take a quick picture, and hope it comes out all right when they develop it in 3 months. Let's.
Well, and like this became even a more of the thing with the amazing advent of the Polaroid.
Yeah. Polaroid cameras were making a comeback like in 2017, 2018. There's a
They're
company
still
that makes
kind of a
Polaroid
comeback.
film. Yeah. It's not... There are companies that make film for it and stuff. And you can get cool borders and all that. And I personally like having the physical pictures to like hang on a fridge or something. That's really cool.
Yeah, just like the fact that, like, you know, there's nothing else you need to do. You just point the camera at the moment that you want to capture, you press the button, spits out the picture.
Yeah.
You don't have to hook
And
your phone up to your computer. You don't have to hook your computer to a fucking printer and then print it off. It's just like, no, you press the button and there, you have picture now.
Yeah, and I understand like the whole photo album thing. Seems a little weird, but I don't know. I still go like high school yearbooks are pretty much photo albums. I still go through my old high school yearbook every once in a while. And
Don't get me wrong, I would love to digitize those photo albums because it would protect them better in some ways. But
yeah, because you could still have them, and then you could also like reprint them later if something happens. Like,
yeah,
you know,
let's say you get
a
stuck
flood.
in a fire.
Yeah.
Or no, you're not stuck in a fire. Your albums get caught up in a fire that causes you to lose your house and your albums and basically everything you have. You haven't fully lost those mementos. Yeah, the actual physical image is gone. The
Like one of the
actual
you guys
photo
remember...
album is gone, but you still have those photos. You can recreate it.
Yeah, you guys remember that? And I think my parents have digitized at least most of their photos, but they still have them like on the fridge and stuff. Like that image of me at that Benihana or whatever. That where I'm wearing the kimono and like the weird head thing, the super. Anyways, it's just hanging on the fridge. It's a great talking point.
As somebody who is really fascinated by tornadoes and has watched a lot of documentaries on like tornadoes, one of the most common things that I see in older videos about like people being interviewed after like they've survived tornadoes or like talking about their experiences of like losing their homes and everything. One of the biggest things is always the most crushing from those times before we had digital photos and everybody had like phones and like backups and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's losing all the family photos.
Sitting near the remains of their home in tears, just like all my pictures are gone.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, it's fun because like there's pictures all over my parents' fridge of like family members, family friends, things like that, just like little life events and stuff. And it's fun when family members or those family friends come over. It's like, hey, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that cute? That's you. That's you like 20 years ago. Or 30 years ago or whatever. And it's fun. And then just having them in frames around, it's like it's kind of cool to see all these old pictures and things like that, and like it's good for conversation. People wonder what did people do before phones? Well, people had pictures all over the house. It's like, what the fuck is that? Oh yeah, that's the time we took a vacation to such and such place. Then you talk about that for a bit.
Yeah. It's a bit of a different thing. Now, hold on, before you move on to the next one. There is a last line on this. It's after this grayed out bar. They say, and honestly, who can blame them? So, I mean, at least they're acknowledging that this is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just a thing that they'll never get rid of. And to be fair, I don't blame them for never wanting to get rid of them. I wouldn't want to get rid of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'll probably end up keeping all my parents' photo albums. There's boxes and boxes of them.
Now me and Jordan Cooper, who brought us this peerless piece of article writing, are about to get into a bit of a scrap.
Yeah.
Because number 2 is instruction manuals for appliances that don't even exist anymore.
They still exist. I still have them.
It's like, I don't know what it is about boomers and instruction manuals, but they treat them like permanent residents. Microwave from 1998, manual's still in the drawer. The VCR they gave away, manual's probably nearby. A blender they replaced twice, manuals for all 3 versions exist somewhere. It's not about needing the manuals, it's about the belief that one day having the exact instructions might matter. It's practicality, but also a mindset born before the internet replaced every how-to guide imaginable. These thin booklets become artifacts of the time when you fix things instead of replacing them. I have so many issues with
this. Now, first off, I will agree under the following circumstances. You've already replaced the device.
Yeah. You should.
You
should
no
get rid of that
longer
manual.
own the device.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. There's no reason to keep that instruction manual anymore.
Well, it depends on the device. Like a VCR, if you get like a secondhand VCR that's the same brand, there's probably a lot of the same functions, or like buttons, like how to set the clock, will be roughly the same. So that old manual might come in handy if you get a new VCR, because now you're getting back into VHS collecting or something like that. So it depends on the manual that you're keeping, in my personal opinion.
Also, like,
For a blender, blenders are
just not
blenders.
even-
They don't really do anything fancy. They go brrr and chop shit up.
And if they do,
That's a blend.
you're spending too much.
Mhm.
well, like, we're not even getting into the fact that, like, there's an entire market on the internet now of people who have or have gotten these old appliances that are desperately trying to find the manuals for them.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, I was saying, why
Would
do
be willing
you
to
still have it?
pay-
I think if you know where the manual is, it should go with the device. If you're selling it, sell it to someone, or provide it with the device. If you're tossing it out, you should still get rid of it, but I don't necessarily think tossing it out is the right plan.
Yeah.
But this is the part, it's the very last part where I become angry, really angry. And it's just like, what the fuck are you implying? Where it's just like, these booklets are artifacts of a time when you fixed things instead of replacing them.
Yeah, well,
Fuck you.
I'm pretty
there
sure
are
we
two
all
ways
follow
you could
Lewis
see that.
Rossman.
There are two ways you could see that, or take that. One, and to be fair, it could go either way, given it's in text and we haven't read more of this individual's views. But I have my opinion on which one I think is more likely. One, it could be an indictment of the fact that we don't fix anything anymore, and just an acknowledgement that these days we instead of fixing things, we actually just throw them out, creating more waste, and replace them. Alternatively, it could be like, oh, those fucking boomers, why did they bother fixing stuff? It's so much easier and cheaper to just replace it.
Yeah, well, and there's a lot of things that are nearly impossible for the average person to fix, though. That's another issue.
Yeah, but even back in the day, that was true. The motor for your washing machine went out? There's no way you're going to be able to fix that, but you can bring it to a shop that'll rewind it. And it'll be good as new when you get it back, and that at the time that was cheaper than rebuilding it or than replacing it.
Yeah,
I disagree with toss-out culture. I am a firm believer that if you have the ability to fix it, you should at least give it a try. I mean, depending on what it is.
Not only that,
depending on what it is, like don't mess with
people here
electrical.
don't know. In case people here don't know already, like if there's anybody new watching, we are hardcore right to repair advocates.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100% accurate.
I'd say that's my only problem with the Steam machine is that it's not moddable or like well, it'll probably, it's Steam. They'll probably release all the specs so you can get it repaired at a shop pretty easily.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I could accept
That's
that the
not-
first 6 months maybe they don't release that stuff because it's still within warranty. They should be sending it back to us.
Yeah.
But it's Steam. They'll be able to do that, or they will most likely make it repairable because they're agreed. Right to repair, as if that shouldn't be the standard. Fuck you if you think that. Fuck like John Deere, prime example. But if you own something and it breaks,
you're pretty
make an attempt to repair it. Absolutely, there are some things that will not be repairable. Welding a piece of metal back together isn't necessarily gonna be a repair, but you should at least make the attempt.
Yeah. All right. This next one kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Forge.
Yeah.
I do that, but
Boomers keep cords with the same quiet commitment as museums keep artifacts. Every old phone charger, extension cable, aux cord, coaxial wire, printer cable, landline connector, and mystery cord from 2003s ends up in a bin labeled cords. They don't know what half the cords belong to anymore, but throwing them out, not happening. The logic is simple. Cables are expensive, and you never know when you might need one or it will become useful again. Sure, the odds are low, but boomers play the long game.
Okay. Here's my problem with this. It has happened so many times when a cord I've kept has come in handy.
oh yeah,
Like some friend finds an old LG flip phone, but they don't have a charger for it, but they have some pictures on there that they want to get. Guess who had the charger? Me. And it was a really weird, funky charger back when everybody had their own proprietary chargers. Like every brand had their own different charger.
yeah. This is a mentality from when from modern time, where basically every electronic device runs on standardized cables. Like charging is almost always USB-C. There are some select exceptions. Usually they're older devices, or they're the devices that need to have charging outside the spec of USB-C, but they're not that common. Also, most devices can interact with other devices via the standard headphone jack, which is no longer on modern phones. So most of these people these days are go, why would you have that? Because it used to be
it's
something
not on
very
iPhones
important
anymore.
Yeah, it's not on iPhones.
Well,
It's not
also
on
just
most
the fact
phones.
that, like,
Samsung
the fact
phones
that
that I
this
get
dumb
still have.
motherfucker, for some reason, included in his list there extension cables. You are always going to need a fucking extension cord. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those better to have it and not need it, not have it. Sort of
But
situation.
here's something I will make a statement about as an electrician. I highly suggest that if you're going to buy extension cords for electrical purposes, make sure that you're buying at a minimum 14 gauge wire in those extension cables. I would highly suggest 12 gauge wire, but at a minimum 14 gauge.
There's also
Yeah, it's like if
I've
you
also
have
had this
good
situation
extension cords
when,
already,
when I was
count yourself lucky.
a kid. Like our Sega Genesis didn't work anymore, or we traded it in at like a trade a game or something. I forget. But like years down the road, parents found some Sega Genesises. Genesises? I don't know. I don't know what the plural for that is.
Genocide.
But in our box of cables, those didn't come with power cords or AV cables or coaxial cables or whatever used to plug into the TV or into the wall. Guess what we had in our box of cords? Those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like also like the aux cables. It's like those things are getting harder and harder to find as it is, and most of the time buying them new is prohibitively expensive if you can even find them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, for example, like my dad's N64 that I found in my grandma's basement still had its original cords.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in good
cables...
shape too. I can still use that N64. I'm going to have to get an adapter if I want to use it in the big screen TV in the living room, but that's a lot cheaper than having to get a new set of cords for it.
Yeah, and also those AV cords for the 64 also work for the GameCube. Fun little fact.
Honestly,
for you
guys. Honestly, when it comes to audio,
by the way, those cords also work for the Super
cord.
Nintendo. Just so you know, there's a plug on the back for the Super Nintendo for those AV cables.
Honestly, getting rid of the aux cable at this point is kind of just we're not gonna win that fight.
Yeah.
We'd be better off advocating for earbuds and anything that would use that cable to just have a USB plug at this point. USB-C.
Yeah, but how am I gonna keep my headphones plugged in while I charge my phone? Oh, that's right. I have this dongle. It has a USB-C here, USB-C here, headphone jack there.
Honestly, what you do is you just make it so that for the headphones, it comes out the side, and you've got and it's got an in and an out for USB-C, so you can charge at the same time.
Well, I actually bought this so that I could plug my microphone into my phone, so I could, yeah. But there for reasons. I was doing some weird shit interviewing people at bars. The Holocaust of Sega's genocides.
Well, you know what? Yeah. We'll just keep going because we've got literally 1 minute left. Let's just keep going on this. What was the total? 7 items.
7.
We absolutely had to do number 4, though. Because I have a bone to pick here. Tupperware containers that survived multiple decades and still work, quote, perfectly fine.
They still work perfectly fine.
There's something almost heroic about boomer Tupperware. Faded, mismatched lids, slightly warped from microwaving, but still considered essential. Boomers grew up in a generation where reuse wasn't just sustainable, it was expected. Tupperware wasn't decorative, it was an investment. And parting with something functional goes against every instinct they were raised with. These containers have stored leftovers from holidays, school lunches, potlucks, and late-night sacks. They've lived entire lives. Of course they're not going anywhere. Nor should they!
Who's using Tupperware
you know how
decoration?
fucking expensive food containers are?
Hold on. Who's using Tupperware as decoration?
I don't.
That's a fair question. I have no idea.
Is this person using Tupperware as decoration?
Also, I don't understand that.
I think they're thinking that people may buy Tupperware to be attractive, so that when people come over and it's like, oh yeah, I got some leftovers, let me pull out the Taj Mahal of Tupperware.
Now, I'll be fair. My parents have this big bowl Tupperware thing. The lid doesn't even work on it anymore. It's the only lid for it. And so I kind of get this. But
that's also more of a mixing bowl at this point than it is a Tupperware.
Well, we just strap some rubber bands on that fucker, and it's good. But
like my thing, as I said earlier, it's like, does this person know how expensive food containers are?
Food containers are expensive, but they last fucking forever. So, especially more modern ones, they last so long. They're so good.
Like, I don't know about you guys, but like, you know those lunch meat things that you can buy at the grocery store? Those plastic containers with the lids?
Yeah, I never.
In my family, we kept a bunch of those.
Yeah. My grandma kept like country crock butter tubs and would put leftovers in those.
Anything that can be reused is reused. There are certain exceptions, like I don't think I've ever kept a mayonnaise jar.
No, my family occasionally.
I've seen people use those again. I just don't think I ever have.
Yeah, we keep them around for like change jars or like screws and nails and stuff at the shop.
One of the greatest things is that they don't sell them anymore, but they used to sell these things called to-go cups for like miniature Chips Ahoy and like mini Oreos.
Yeah.
And it was just a white cup that like looked like a drinking glass, basically, with a yellow lid that went on top. And my grandmother has so many of those in her cabinet that have just been used as cups ever since. Cups that came with their own lids. So if you weren't finished with a drink and wanted to put it in the fridge, you could put the lid on it and just put it back in the fridge and not be worried about it getting spilled or knocked over. I wish they still had those things. Yeah, free cups with lids.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they weren't free. You obviously paid for them, but like, you got way more out of them than just holding the cookies that it came with.
I like how Y2K was trying to shame me for not keeping the mayo jars for random screws and bolts and stuff. No. I use old medicine bottles.
Yeah. That's fair.
They're clear! That's how Y2K.
Yeah, but they're oranges.
I've used old medicine bottles.
They're
so,
not too
if
small.
I have to go someplace,
they're the right
I take my
size
medicine with me.
They're the right size for the small screws I'm keeping in there. And if I have bigger screws and bigger bolts, I've usually got them in a box or in a organization thing.
Yeah, but you could use a peanut butter jar.
No, I can't. I don't buy peanut butter normally.
Could use a mayonnaise jar.
Really?
Don't just shut everything down. Your life must suck without peanut butter.
What do you got against peanut butter, Rimshee?
Nothing. I just...
He doesn't like to eat nut. He's a spitter.
There is... There are a bunch of people in my family with peanut allergies, so...
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Fair enough.
To be them.
Yeah. The peanut allergies are.
Sorry,
it's possibly the allergy
my
that I
uncle
feel
is
the
the
worst
one with
about.
the peanut allergy. My mom has an allergy related to something they put in peanut butter, but she's perfectly fine with peanuts themselves. I don't fully understand it, but it's whatever.
Yeah, people with peanut allergy, the peanut allergies, I feel the worst for because it's like there's so much good stuff with peanut.
Oh yeah, like peanuts and like seafood are like the two things that I have said that if I were to ever have developed an allergy for, I would have unironically cried.
Hold on. Y2K brings up a point that I forgot was a memory in my head. You're supposed to have all those unsorted jars so when your kid misbehaves, you can make them sort the jars as punishment.
Why would I make them sort jars when I've got a unsorted 5-gallon bucket that they can sort?
Well, you have the jars so they can put them in the jars that they're sorting.
Get your
But
hands in there.
Y2K, you
I don't care if
you
it's
just brought back
grimy.
you just brought back a memory of when I was a kid and I got in trouble for something and I had to do that. That's a.
I was a good boy. I never had to do that. I just had to look through my dad's stupid. You know what? My dad used to volunteer at at our church's Christmas tree lot, so we always had a bunch of those green Christmas tree water buckets. That's what he filled with screws and nuts and bolts and random hardware.
Y2K, I didn't have to do that. I had to build a fence once. And I was a little piece of shit kid. And my dad, tied this line. He's like, hey, I want you to make it even with this line. And it was just like string. And I was old enough to be like, slack's gonna form in that. And I'm just like, hey, Dad, even with the string? You want me to just line every top of the board up with the string the entire time? He's like, yeah. Okay, that's what I'll do. So then we ended up with this fence that was like curved like this. And my dad didn't really get mad with me. He was just like, you little shit. Because he knew, he fucked up on that one.
Yeah.
That was on him.
You just did what he told you to do.
Exactly. I still had to rebuild the fence, but the satisfaction of him just being like, motherfucker, little shit, was so nice. It was worth rebuilding the fence. All right, number 5. We're almost through this.
Are we though? Because there's 2 more left.
Yeah. Come on.
My wife's teaching a singing lesson anyway, so.
Yeah.
Gifts they didn't love but kept out of loyalty.
Oh wait, hold on, real
ceramic
quick.
Figurine from a coworker.
Real quick, I want to address this real quick. Crab said, my mother always kept everything: Tupperware, jars, any reusable container. I guess I just developed that habit based on familiarity. Yes, you probably developed that, but your mom developed that because her parents were in the Great Depression when you couldn't get new stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where that comes from. Anyway.
Yep. A ceramic figurine from a coworker, a sweater from an aunt that never fit, a decorative plate from someone who traveled abroad. They keep them because someone cared enough to give them, and that alone makes them worth preserving. Growing up, I remember seeing so many items like this when visiting older relatives. They weren't displayed because they matched anything, they were displayed because they mattered to someone at some point. And that emotional logic is strong.
Yeah. So why'd you start this article off negative? They don't like the gift, but they keep it because it's a reminder that somebody loves them.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
They don't like the gift itself, but it's like, no, this is a true definition of it's the thought that counts, and what you're memorializing the thought when somebody gave you that gift. That's why you keep it.
Yeah, like nobody else is gonna get it, probably. But there's currently an empty plastic blueberry carton tucked away in one of my cabinets.
Yeah.
Because it was the last thing that Dad ever brought to me.
Yep. I for well over a decade, I kept a root beer bottle because it was. I went to this summer camp. It was a church camp. You go for like a week, but I went like every summer for years. And my last year there, on the last night, my camp counselor put together like this big dinner for all of us because I was in the same cabin with these kids like 3 years in a row. So we all became real good friends and stuff. And this was like our last time hanging out together. And we all got Henry Weinhard's root beers. And I kept that bottle for a long, long time. And then it ended up getting thrown out because somebody else was managing my stuff at one point. And they thought it was just trash. But I kept it for a long time. That was very important to me. Seems like trash. But, you know, I'm memorializing a moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I have.
So what I'm telling you, sir, is be careful with that.
Well, as I said, like I literally have it hidden in the back of one of my cabinets. So it's just like, I know it's there.
Yep.
And yeah, to anybody else, it's just like, oh, it's just a plastic blueberry carton. And it's like, yeah, but
It
means a little more to me.
Like if I was clearing out your place or something, the fact that it was in a weird place, I'd be like, hey, what does this mean to you? Like I kept that bottle in a weird place that seemed like it was supposed to be kept, but it got thrown out anyways. Along with the rock that I had from when I went to go work on that pot farm in California, I found a nice rock that was good to use as like a worry stone to just sort of rub and fidget with. And that got thrown out in the whole thing.
Despite it being empty now, I still have the
just like,
first bottle of I still have the first bottle and case of 21-year Macallan that I ever bought.
Yeah.
Because partly because I shared that with people I cared about. It was an expensive bottle of scotch, and I got to share it with people I care about.
Yeah.
All the subsequent
I
ones I
have
don't
two
care so
bottles.
much about, but that first one. I need to buy a new one, though.
When Halo 3 first came out, and they first released the game fuel flavor of Mountain Dew, they had these commemorative aluminum bottles with like metal
Yeah, I
bottle
remember those.
caps. They're like
I wanted one
printed.
so bad.
I have two of those. I have two of them. One of them has never been opened. But yeah, they're tucked away in one of my cabinets as well. because Halo 3 was such a massive part of my life.
Yeah. And there's a lot of like little things that I've kept whenever a relative has died. And it's like I get an option to keep something. I always pick something that's kind of innocuous but also useful. Like when my grandma on my mom's side passed, I took her magnifying glass. It's just a little regular magnifying glass. But I spent so much time as a kid burning ants with that. And
yeah.
I still have my ratty old baby
and then I spent a bunch of time
somewhere.
Spent a bunch of time as a teenager doing solar hits off a bong with it. Just
like I still have my ratty old baby blanket that one of my mom's friends gave me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
it serves no purpose. It probably belongs in the trash. Fuck no, it ain't ever going there.
I went into the basement at my grandma's and I found my sister took the newer one, but I found my dad's old USS Saratoga cap.
Nice.
I don't wear ball caps, never have.
Mm-hmm.
But I took that cap because, it was something that was his, something that he wore all the time.
Yeah.
And it's on my nightstand next to my bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like his Zippo lighter that has his boat on it. It's never been used. It's never going to be used. But I have it.
You're not going to try to learn some cool Zippo tricks with it?
No.
Alright, maybe we should move past this one before we get sucked down into memory lane.
Like it's so never been used that it basically doesn't even have any smudges on it.
Nice. Alright. Alright.
Yeah, I kinda wanna get this over with and leave. Not that I don't want to be around you guys. It's like...
Yep.
None of us want to be around.
Paperwork from decades ago, just in case. Like, no, no, this is actually important.
Like, okay, sure, you can get rid of your...
You'll never know when you need something in writing.
Yeah, theoretically, at this point, you can get rid of tax returns from the early 90s. Fair. You really only need about 15 years of tax returns to keep yourself safe. But at the same fucking time.
Like, again, recently with my dad, having to do stuff with the VA and trying to find his discharge.
I keep that stuff in my safe.
My buddy, I had a buddy that had to try to prove that he was born when he turned 18 because the hospital he was born at burned down and everything was still on paper. So, like, his parents, because they were in the military and moved a lot, didn't have a copy of his birth certificate. And the hospital he was born at that would have had a copy of it didn't have it because it burned the fuck down. And so he had to prove his existence to the government.
Which sounds
as far
absolutely
as the
stupid.
world.
Of course I exist. I'm right here. Yes, but you don't exist in the system. Therefore, how do we know you are an American?
He still had his social security card.
Well, just like me recently. There's no evidence that I have autism because all the paperwork for it is gone.
Yeah. Alright, we can skip past that one. That one's like, I'm 50-50 on this one. Yeah, you can get rid of a lot of stuff. But
Certain
there's
things,
some
yes.
stuff you should keep.
Certain things, yes, you can get rid of certain things. Birth certificates, marriage certificates, if you spent time in the military, your DD-214, or other discharge paperwork, that stuff you should keep a physical fucking copy of. Social security cards, you need a physical fucking copy. Your pink slip for your vehicle. Yeah, keep the physical fucking copy. Your annual renewal paperwork, you probably don't need that every year.
Yeah. Alright, last one.
Objects tied to identity, even if they never get used anymore.
Okay,
This is
so
one of
this
the most
one,
powerful categories of boomer belongings.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, Jables?
This is what this next sentence is the one that was like, what the fuck? The bowling trophy from the 20s?
Yeah, this
My rain gutter regatta trophy
guitar
from
they haven't played
fourth
since
grade.
they were kids.
My Cub Scouts rain gutter regatta trophy that I still have. These aren't just
My
tied
flight
to identity.
helmet?
These are things. These are memories. What are you talking about?
Yeah, this isn't a boomer thing.
All of my wrestling medals.
Like,
I
fucking,
still
like-
have all those. Those are fucking. I like that. These are.
I
these
wish
are-
I still had my Little League Baseball trophy that we got because my team was good enough to play the
Yeah.
All-Star.
These are
team.
these are symbols of accomplishments and little snapshots in time in your history. And yeah, that ties to your identity a bit, but it's like no, it's kind of like
My flight
You know, like the two stuffed animals that I still have, that I have to this day not gotten rid of, just because they're sentimental to me.
I grew up with a little stuffed dragon. I gave it to my nephew when he was a little baby. I don't know where it is now. But
Yeah, I've been giving my nephew like my little precious moments train set, piece by
Yeah.
piece, that was given to me as a kid.
you know.
I need
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
dust this
there's
thing.
some stuff that you don't want
Yeah,
to
Rimshee's
get
flight
rid of
helmet.
because it just, and it's again like, this is not a boomer thing. This is just human.
Yeah, this person calls them clutter, and it's like they can be, but I mean, well, I got third place in the rain gutter regatta. I worked really hard on that boat.
Back in the day,
It's
this
like-
is the sort of stuff that would have gone in the parlor, which is where you entertained your guests. This is the sort of stuff
making
you'd
that-
have up on the shelf, so they could be like, "Hey, what's the story behind
What's
this?"
that?
So you could tell the story and entertain them.
Yeah.
They, while they're waiting, they can look at the stuff you've collected over the years and be like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Painting that boat is the first time my dad taught me how to use spray paint. Yeah.
Like, I almost never use the Risk set that I have. It's
Yeah.
very rare that I ever get to use it. But it's always special whenever I can break it out. Because I have
Mhm.
so many memories tied to that fucking game board.
Exactly.
That's why I didn't get rid of it when, like, a lot of the pieces started getting broken. Like, I didn't want to get a new one either. Like, I could get that exact same set, but I didn't want to. Because like mine, like you can see where it's been used, like the tin and everything.
Mhm.
I did end up getting a new board and like some new pieces because like I basically made a hybrid set because my cousin had the 40th anniversary version that had the metal game pieces. So now I've got the metal game pieces for my set, and it's super, super nice as a combined set now.
Mm-hmm. I have a Pokemon
Unfortunately,
Monopoly.
I did have to replace my football Monopoly that my grandpa got me because one of my mom's fucking asshole ex-boyfriends threw it out into a fucking shed along with my lava lamp, which exploded and completely destroyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have lots of little
But that
things and
Monopoly
like,
set meant so much to me that I couldn't just not have a set like that. I had to get it.
Yeah, like.
And
like
yeah, I
all
almost
my-
never play it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a Pokemon Monopoly set. That's kind of like that I got as like a little kid. It was my first board game that I got. And it was Pokemon at the height of
I didn't fucking
Pokemon.
kill him over that.
And then there's like all my wrestling medals. Like a lot of those medals I worked really hard for. There's a handful of those medals that are just like, hey, you were on the team this year, that's cool. And then like little safety pins like most improved and stuff like that. That correlate with the years that those happened. And I have a bunch of golds, I have a bunch of silvers. I worked really hard for all of that. Of course I'm keeping all those medals. That was cool. That was a good time in my life. And I was really good at wrestling. I have a soccer trophy around here somewhere. But yeah. No, these aren't clutter. These are, and yeah, I guess they're part of your identity-ish. But they're more symbolic of a time of, like, I don't know, they're snapshots, they're memories, they're things. Why would you just throw them out? Like, I understand minimalism a lot. I'm a pretty minimalist person. But, like, I don't count pictures and trophies of past accomplishments as like excessive things to have when you're talking about minimalism. Yeah. And with that, we've been the Lesser Saints of Discord.
We'll see you next
Yeah.
week. Have a
Yes.
good night, everyone. Have a good week.
Yeah.
Try not to freeze if you're in my neck of the woods.
Yeah.